This is the Ring of Honor, a.k.a. Shane T, boy, the baddest champion you ever seen, boy.
This is Mr. Anderson.
This is good old JR Jim Ross, and you are listening.
You're listening to Knockouts and 3 Counts.
Cover! We got a cover world champion!
That might be one of the craziest knockouts I've ever seen in my life.
Knockouts and 3 Counts is the podcast, baby! It's the real deal, baby!
Knockouts and 3 Counts starts now.
Ooh, what up, though? It is a Tuesday, and apparently the card is subject to change in this motherfucker. I don't know if Joe the Hitman Elmore had a hit that he had to lay out before he gets to Dustin Pague, but maybe we'll be able to run that one back at some point. I don't know what happened with it, but it's a good week for that to happen because there's plenty of shit that we got to talk about in the world of pro wrestling and MMA. Yeah, dude. I heard this guy, he's kind of electrifying. He come back. He likes to drop elbows on people. I heard he does something with his eyebrow. This guy came back. Can't remember his name. I don't know. I thought his last name was Maeva.
This Stone.
Couldn't tell you his name if I even tried. Couldn't tell you.
The Rock, that guy. Yeah, we got the.
Talking about the Stone.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it wasn't Stone Cold this time. We got the other half of one of the best rivalries in all of pro wrestling. We got the return of The Rock. We had Valentina Schevchenko versus Alexa Grasso and a judge who clearly doesn't know what the fuck he's looking at. We had, let's see, Jade Cargill has all but been confirmed that she's going to WWE. We'll see what happens with that. We'll talk about what we thought about her send-off out of AEW, if that is really what we're getting here. And maybe some of what we might like to see her do. We also got to talk about with The Rock. Does The Rock coming back, and if they do run that with Cody versus Rock versus Roman, does that kill Cody Rhodes? So we got a lot to talk about. Motherfuckers, how you doing? If you guys are tuning in, make sure you hit that like button, share button, comment button. Share this out with some people. In the meantime, how y'all fuckers doing?
Doing
Corey,
well,
how are
man.
you?
Yeah, doing well, man. For the most part, get to enjoy a little bit more of this motorcycle season. Just got back from taking a nice little ride. Other than that, man, it's about it. Honestly, long day at work. Glad to be able to at least get a couple miles in before I had to record a podcast. What about you, Jay?
I'm gonna cut to the chase. I'm fucking pissed about the fucking UFC results. I'll be straight up about it. And another thing, somebody wanted to argue with me on Twitter. The Rock is the greatest wrestling superstar of all time. There's no getting around that. And we'll talk about that more later. But somebody had a different about that, and that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it, and we'll talk about it later. But
who did they say? Hulk Hogan?
No, I mean I get like the choice. Do we want to do this now? You want this now or what?
Sounds like somebody's trying to bleep your microphone out so you can't tell us.
I know, right? Everybody's against me. I swear to God. You want to do this?
Play. I mean, you might as well start there. Go ahead.
Yeah,
listen,
right
I'll stand by it, dude. There is not a single performer that has ever stepped in the ring that is greater than The Rock. We have never, as wrestling fans, wanted a single performer back. Never had rumor mills, dirt sheets, all the talks, all the what ifs. What can we do? How can we get him back? We've never had it more than The Rock. We've never clamored for any one person more than The Rock ever. It's not Hulk Hogan. It's not Steve Austin. It's not The Undertaker. It's The Rock. And I think he proved that the other day. Look what happened. The entire wrestling world was shifted upside down. And now, without even saying, hey, The Rock might be back at WrestleMania, we don't even know that. Everybody's saying The Rock's coming at WrestleMania. Nobody said he was. He said he had a potential match last year. He said,
hold on. Now that you went into that, let's talk about that. I want to know what you think. Do you feel like that was a dickhead move on The Rock's part to come out and say that it was a locked-in deal with him versus Roman? Because do you feel like that kind of takes away from Cody at all, or what are your thoughts on that? Yeah. Do you think that was just saying, hey, this is what was going to happen, or whatever, because he also brought up WrestleMania in Philly. So
yeah, I don't think he meant for that. I think he was just caught up in the moment, right? Like he was just talking. He was on College Game Day with Pat McAfee. Shit was going cool, but he's a vet, man. He's got to know better than that. He just slipped up, I think. Yeah, he shouldn't have said that because it does make it seem like Cody was the secondary option there now, but I don't think he meant for it to be that way. You know what I mean? I don't think that was his motive there. But yeah, he slipped up.
Wasn't that everyone's second option though? Like, not to
Right.
be a dick,
I mean,
right?
everybody wanted it.
That was the world's second option, right? Like, and I feel like for what it was, it still played out pretty well. People were definitely behind it. If anything, I felt like people were rooting for him to walk away with the belt in that one. So, like,
yeah,
I mean, yeah, you can be the second option, but fucking silver's still pretty valuable too. I mean, I don't know.
I just think at this point, it's just like, where do we go now? Because we still have a story to figure out here. We're still in the middle of a story with Cody. So you don't want to just insert Rock and Cody goes to the back. You got to figure it out. And that's up to the writers now. But
here's my thing.
Threat, main event.
See, well, you don't got to do that anymore because you got the 2 nights of WrestleMania. But see, here's my thing. Like, in a lot of ways, I feel like it does kind of downplay what happened with Cody at WrestleMania and his whole story and, you know, the way they've built him up. I honestly, until that all happened, I wasn't even mad. I mean, I was mad when it first happened. I thought Cody should have won, but I thought they've done a great job of building him up. And I kind of thought that it was going to be like a lock, that's kind of what we were going to see at WrestleMania, especially with the fact that they just sent Jey Uso over to Raw. You got Jimmy is still on SmackDown, and because of that, someone's got to go to SmackDown. Well, obviously, I just assumed that was going to be Cody, but now that you got The Rock going back there, man, I mean, there's a bunch of different ways that this could play out. I mean, my only thing is, on one hand, it's like, do you go with The Rock and then have them fight at a later point? But here's my thing. I really wonder if they push Cody off again and it doesn't happen at WrestleMania. Man, I feel like you're going to shoot that guy in the foot. So
I think it'll get stale. I don't think we got a whole nother year we can build that.
I think it's got to be, I feel like it's got to be now. But then again, I also understand from the other standpoint of, if you've got the opportunity to put The Rock on WrestleMania, do you miss the chance of that while you've got the chance? Because let's face it, The Rock looks like $1 million, but he's getting older too. So, I mean, how many more chances are you going to get where he's going to get this much free time off of doing movies and shit with the whole actor strike and all that? In a lot of ways, I feel like they do need to strike while the iron's hot. But after listening to our friends on Busted Open, after sitting and thinking about it and hearing what The Rock said out of his own mouth, I think the only way you can do this to where it keeps Cody the star that you need him to be and you still get what you get out of The Rock is, I feel like he's got to face them both in the same WrestleMania.
Like a night 1, night 2 main event.
Yeah, so have him fight The Rock in night 1 for the tribal chief thing with the kind of end off the bloodline. And then, have Roman go over The Rock. I mean, now, again, to be fair, this is totally, Bubba, suggested the night 1, night 2 idea, but I don't really see any other way you can do it to where it'll keep them both strong. I mean, obviously, I don't work for WWE, and WWE has been known more than on one occasion to pull some shit out of their ass. But that said, I think Bubba laid out the perfect scenario, dude. I feel like if you don't do it night 1, night 2, I think that does a lot of damage to Cody.
Now, do we do a title? Because we really don't need the title for The Rock versus Roman, to be honest. I mean, the tribal chief title itself is worth a main event if you ask me.
That's exactly my point. That's why I'm saying I feel like if you have him do that, have Roman beat The Rock, well, then you just lifted Roman up this high here, and then let's say Cody does beat him on night 2, well, then that's going to put Cody up here because he just...
And longevity-wise, you give Roman a reason to be like, hey, I wrestled the night before against The Rock.
And it still keeps him strong. Again, total shout out to Bubba Dudley on that one. I like his scenario. The more I've sat and thought about it, dude, I don't think you can really go any other way, because otherwise you take the risk of you've done all this to build Cody up to, and to be fair, their numbers in live events, their numbers in TV, their numbers in pay-per-view buys, their numbers in merch sales, their numbers in everything are up right now. So that needs to be said too. So like, I think there's a lot more to this other than, do we just get The Rock while we have the chance? You also have to be careful in how you play this, because I feel like if they don't play it smart, which I'm sure the WWE will, you take a chance of killing the biggest babyface who could arguably be the biggest babyface in wrestling right now.
This is true. And now let's just go back a little bit, Kyle. Like, I don't know what the writer's strike thing is exactly. I don't know the terms and how long that's going to last, but like we still don't have anything official for The Rock at WrestleMania. Obviously,
no, we don't have anything.
So that could still be just like a pipe dream here. Maybe, we don't know. But
I agree.
But I feel like bringing him back, like, what did that? Obviously, we seen Thursday TKO was born, Endeavor, UFC, all that stuff merged, and your way to bring eyes to the company than to grab.
And that's a reason I think that I could see them trying to do that with The Rock. Like, I could totally see them doing that, for the simple fact that Endeavor looks at it as, well, that's the big match. That's the big money. They're not going to give a shit about the fact that Cody has been the biggest babyface you got and selling all the merch that he can sell. They're not going to care about that. No. You ask them, which match would you rather have on a card? Which one's going to make them more money? Cody Rhodes or The Rock? I love Cody Rhodes, but
it's The Rock.
I think, right. So I don't know, man. Somehow they got to find a way to tie this up, because my only concern is that if it's not done properly, dude, it can make Cody look like shit.
Right.
Too.
And we don't want to lose steam on that. So, like I said, we still got a story to finish out, and hopefully they do it the right way.
I'm with you, but I will say this, boy, man, does that guy get a crowd loud as fuck still. Like, and the worst of it is I saw people on Twitter, or excuse me, X, that were, yeah, throw it up, man. Shout out to CM Punk. But that said, dude, I saw a lot of people saying that the crowd noise was piped in. I'm like, you're on crack.
No, come on. You don't need piped in noise for The Rock.
When it's so loud that it's shaking the camera, you're telling me that's piped in?
Right. You don't need that for The Rock, man. Come on.
Like, I just laughed when I saw that. I'm like, piped in?
I see The Rock like YouTube. What was that, like in 3 days? It was like 2.5 million.
He's had 103 million streams across all the fucking social media since Friday.
That's pretty impressive.
103 million.
I think we should buy a share in this company.
I think I should have got one when I had the chance, like Whip did, but that's the story for another time. Like I said, am definitely looking forward to seeing The Rock back. I hope we get to see him involved somehow. And I also hope that however this plays out, they're able to keep Cody strong as well. Just for those of you guys who are tuning in, yes, we were supposed to have Joe the Hitman Elmore on before he fights Dustin Pague for BKFC 51, but card, if I can spit it out, is subject to change. I don't know what happened. Shout out to Joe. Hope he gets a dub in this next fight. I'll be checking it out. But you know, that wasn't all that we had go on. First of all, I got to give a shout out. Past guest of the show, Austin Theory. Tell me that they don't got big plans for this kid when he's been in the ring and got his ass kicked by Pat McAfee, Stone Cold, The Rock. I mean, this kid just keeps finding himself in money spots out here. So you know what, dude? John Cena too had the match with him at WrestleMania. Think about that though. Let's talk about that too. Think about that if you're John Cena. You think John Cena was pissed at all that The Rock basically came back and stole his comeback?
Same night, huh?
He was supposed to be the last guy to come out, and The Rock comes out. Fuck John Cena now.
It's a rivalry, dude.
I just thought that was hysterically funny. But yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to seeing what we get there. I hope that we see more of The Rock in WWE. Although, like I just said, I hope that we're able to see Cody be kept strong in this one. I mean, however this plays out. But look, I think any of us that were Attitude Era fans, or for that matter, anybody who is a fan of The Rock, I just want to see them do something before they can't do it no more. So
Yeah.
take that for what you will. I'm cool with seeing The Rock as long as it's done the right way. And I think the right way means that Cody's got to be protected somehow. So,
Agreed.
like I said, that's my thought on that one. But speaking of people who are making jumps to places and things, man, son of a bitch, it looks like Jade Cargill might be coming to WWE. Now, that hasn't been confirmed. This is all just a grain of salt, but I mean, it was reported by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, who is usually pretty good on their scoops, and it said that she's supposed to be at the Performance Center along with a few others that we will name off here at the Performance Center for a tryout this week. So, I mean, if that is true, they ain't wasting no time. I mean, we saw her have basically her send-off match against Chris Statlander where she had her rematch, and it looks like that was her last match for AEW. J-Bone, what do you think about Jade Cargill possibly coming to WWE?
Shit, I love it, man. I mean, the more she's on our TV, the better, right? And I think this is going to be a case where WWE is going to really take her to the next level. She's going to get some work. I think she'll get a lot of great work in NXT. But I think this is going to be the one where they're not going to say it publicly, but they want to make her a star in WWE just so they could shove it to AEW. You know what I mean? But on the flip side of that, AEW, you messed up. You had a chance at a major star right there, and I would have been throwing the Brinks truck at her, dude. I don't know what they were thinking.
I wouldn't doubt that they did, but I wonder. My honest first thought when I heard that this was actually a real possibility, I mean, we've heard it and we've talked about it here on the show. You know, you've heard a lot of people say that they want to see AEW's women's division get more time. They want to see AEW's women's division have more of a spotlight. Although Jade had a Goldberg-esque run where she went undefeated for how fucking long?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Who did Jade ever? When was Jade ever in the world title picture though?
Never.
She went undefeated for what, 3 years?
TBS championship, yeah.
Yeah, so she went undefeated for 3 years, did never get towards the world title spot. I mean, I don't know, man. It's
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think they dropped the ball on it.
She's one of the hottest young stars they got, period. I mean, she says it herself. She looks like money, talks like money, walks like money, smells like money. Jade Cargill's money. I'm really interested to see what we could see from her in WWE. Now, let me ask you, okay, so let's say she does go to WWE. Do you think she goes to NXT first? Do you think they put her right to the main roster? And if you had the potential, what do you want to see Jade Cargill do in WWE? And do you think they change her name?
If I'm writing this shit, I mean, obviously you want to get her the work, but what better shockwave to make than on the main roster? Bring her to the Hurt Business. Let's start that whole Hurt Business thing with Lashley.
But you'd rather her be in there than Bianca?
Bring them both. Let's have a fucking.
Well, now you just made a fucking killer's row if you put them both in there. But
let's make a dominant stable. Let's do it the right way, man. She can be the enforcer. You know what I mean? I mean, it don't got to last forever, but it'll have a good run. That'd be a good spot for her to come into. She can get acclimated.
I don't know that I would see her go right to the Hurt Business though, because like you said, I think she goes to NXT first. I think Bianca's the other part of the Hurt Business needs to be, especially since they've already kind of teased at her being a heel and all that stuff, and obviously with her husband being in there. I think if there's going to be a female member, I've said it from the jump, I think that needs to be Bianca. But I think Jade goes to NXT, maybe wins the championship, run shit there for like 6-8 months, and then come up to the main roster. I mean, I agree with you. If she really did go over to WWE, bro, that's a big loss for AEW because she was a homegrown that started there and all that. And like we said, she's got the look, she's money. That's definitely going to be a big loss if she does come to the WWE, dude. It's a wild thought though, bro, because it's
yeah. Yeah, it is because
I thought it was.
We're so used to people jumping the other way. You know what I mean? And going to AEW.
Well, we've always said that it was going to start happening once people's contracts started to come out. Now, we haven't really gotten to see much of that yet. But I think that this is going to be the first domino of others that are going to drop on this one. So,
now,
like I said,
I'll tell you another thing though. By her going there to WWE, let's say this is a thing, she's gonna have to step it up in competition because there's a lot of ass kicking women over there.
But I think she can though.
I think she can too, but I think she's gonna need some work first. I mean, you got.
But that's why I think NXT is perfect.
Matches, you know what I mean? There's anybody, you name anybody over there that she's gonna have great matches with.
Who better to tell her what to do than Shawn Michaels, bro?
Sure, exactly.
Like, I mean, you say she needs work. Who the fuck better learning tree to sit under than his?
Oh yeah, you ain't wrong.
I'm just saying, like we just said, she needs work. If you're sending her
star, so
yeah, I mean, you're talking about we need to get her work. She goes to NXT. You can't have a better mind for her to be under than Shawn Michaels. And then she goes right, and then you got Sarah Stock and all them down there that can help her wrestle and all that too. So I think she goes to NXT. I think she probably is there like 6-8 months, and then we'll see her on the main roster because they're going to want to get her on TV like quick. But said, though, I mean, NXT's been putting out probably one of the best products that WWE's got right now. I mean, hell, you just had Becky Lynch show up there last week and take the belt off the champ. So
this is true.
I'm just saying, bro, it might not be a bad time for NXT to be the option because it looks like NXT is hot and heavy with what they've got going on there. What do you think of Becky Lynch being the NXT champ and winning the Grand Slam?
I mean, I love everything that Becky Lynch does, so I'm cool with that. I do like how we've been doing this, right? We've been taking people back to NXT, and Becky, well deserved, especially just to get that Grand Slam thing under her belt. You know what I mean? But who better of a face to put over there? I mean, not that they're struggling by any means, but hey, you're bringing way more eyes over there with Becky Lynch as your champ right now. So
facts.
You're not hurting the company or the brand by any means. So I love it, man.
Well, and think about it. Tiffany Stratton, who's one of their new young bucks that they want to push to the moon.
Yes.
You can't tell me that there's not going to be a rematch between those two before Becky gets out of there. Which,
all in all, we're getting these NXT people good, the good rub from the people that have been on the main roster, the superstars that have been there. So all positive things, if you ask me there.
I mean, who better for her to be in the ring with than Becky Lynch? I mean, that's one of the biggest stars in the whole wrestling world, male or female. So, like I said, who better to send back down there for the women than a Becky Lynch? I'm definitely interested to see what she does. I kind of would like to see some more tangling with her and Rhea. But then again, that's another option I'd like to see for a Jade Cargill who comes in. So I don't know, man.
Maybe that's how we get her in there. I don't know. Maybe Becky's like, hey, I came down here and took over NXT. Who won it? And then insert Jade. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it, bro. I mean, I really wouldn't be mad at it. I like I said, I still stick to what I said. I'll believe it when I see it. I know that it sounds like the deal pretty much might all but be done.
Now there's a photo floating around that I don't know if she's been to the Performance Center before, but somebody posted on Twitter or X today of her and what looks like a Performance Center t-shirt. I don't know if this is recent.
They had a tryout this week, so I mean it.
Have you seen this photo floating around?
I haven't seen it yet, but if it's probably in the gray property of WWE shirt, if I had to guess. I wouldn't.
Don't worry, I'll send it to you. I got it saved.
I bet you do, because you got a storm coming. That said, speaking of storms coming, check out our sponsors, Potter's Tree Service. If you need to get your tree cleaned up, if you need to get storm cleaned up, if you need wood chipping, if you need tree removal, if you need walnut logging or lot cleaning, Call Asa Potter. Call Potter's Tree Service. Tell them the Knockouts and 3 Count sent you. All the links are down there. The phone number's there. The Facebook link's there. And the guy likes MMA. So you got to check him out. Check out Potter's Tree Service if you're in the Hastings area. Come have Asa take care of your tree needs. And right on, fella. Look at this. This guy's right on cue. Shout out to Potter's Tree Service. Make sure you check them out. Get your trees cleaned up. I heard there's some more rain coming, so Asa will get you together. All right. So now that we have talked about Jade Cargill, we've talked about The Rock coming back out here. We've talked about a lot of things. Like I said, it was supposed to be Joe Hitman Elmore on with us tonight before he takes on Dustin Pague for BKFC 51. Don't know what the hell happened with that one, but card subject to change. All right. Now that we've talked about some of that stuff, this Thursday, we are tentatively supposed to be joined by Candace from PWI, Pro Wrestling Illustrated. We just had the new PWI 500 come out. Candace Cordelia, that's what I was trying to spit out there. We got Candace Cordelia of PWI 500. We're going to talk about the list. J-Bone, what did you think of this year's PWI 500?
Oh, man. I love when those lists come out and you see the indie guys that are around our area, especially. You know what I mean? That's my favorite part of it all. I mean, obviously, you always want to see who the top 5 is, who's number 1. I love the fact. I love where Gunther was at. I love that Seth was number 1. I'm sure we'll talk about that on Thursday.
How about the Shield being number 1, 2, and 3 still?
1, 2, 3 Shield, man.
Oh, no, here he comes. Here comes Joe the Hitman. We do got Joe the Hitman in with us.
Let's go.
Coming in. Here we go. Coming in hot. All right. Shit. Without any further ado, we lied to you. We do got the Hitman with us tonight, man.
Sorry, guys, man. I have horrible service. I came out here and I'm getting some training sessions in with Ace Samples.
What up, though?
I'm gonna live down here in Athens with him for a couple of days and get my training in. And apparently, my service was horrible. But we got the Wi-Fi going, so I'm ready.
It's all good, my man. We were just filling in on some of the news from this weekend. We were talking about the return of The Rock. We were talking about some more wrestling stuff that's getting ready to come down that way. So before we get down to BKFC, man, and what you've got going on with Dustin Pague, man, you got to tell me, does the Hitman get down with the pro wrestling at all? Were you ever a wrestling
My fourth cousin, Jerry Lawler from Memphis. I went to Mid-South Championship Wrestling, and I got to go watch the Mid-South Coliseum flying Brian Spillman, Todd Taylor, Jerry Lawler, all at the brick glove ladder match. And I get to go in the back and watch them like cut themselves with the razors and then put the glue over it so they can squirt blood everywhere. I love it, man.
Hell yeah, dude. I love to hear it, dude. It's funny how much, like with us doing the combat sports and pro wrestling, how much that stuff comes along. But when you say you're related to Jerry the King Lawler, I mean, he's arguably considered one of the greatest of all time. So you know, man, a fewer things about wrestling.
That's why I got my rap song I come out to, Welcome to the Joe Show. I carry the entertainment, man. It's more about not just fighting, dude. You got to be a personality. You got to make them I don't give a fuck if they love me or hate me. I'll be the heel or I'll be the good guy. Or I'll swap NWO red and black and white. We can figure it out. I'll switch sides on the motherfucker just to piss somebody off and get some attention. We don't care. Let's go.
I like it, dude. I like it. We were just talking about getting attention. We were talking about The Rock coming back, man. That's crazy to see that they had that coming. I feel like that was impromptu. I feel like we're going to see him in Philly. But, man, that dude still had the motherfuckers losing their mind. People talking about the crowd noise was piped in. I'm like, you're on crack, dude. The damn camera was shaking.
Ric Flair, you still, every time he goes piss at a UFC event, you can still hear the whole crowd. Whoa!
Look what I got behind me.
I don't have that octave anymore. I sound like a pit bull. I do the Ric Flair.
I don't. So that's the thing, though. I don't think Rick's got that octave anymore.
Hell yeah! Well, the alcohol might have hardened his.
Hell yeah, man. We just saw him have his last match last year. I hope that's the last one. But we know this isn't going to be your last fight. So let's switch over to the fighting side of things. We were telling people when we started the show, we got to talk a little bit about Noche UFC and all those things. But now that we're joined by the Hitman, you got to tell me. So I did my research. I've seen you fight before you got into bare knuckle. I know what you did with LFA and Bellator and all that stuff. So tell me, what was it that made you want to switch over to bare knuckle? Is it something you just felt more comfortable boxing, or was there a big transition for you switching between the two?
Because I'm a fucking gangster. I like to fight, dude.
I like it.
I was a wrestler and I'm a world class grappler. I mean, you've seen I can fucking like when I fought Ryan Jett, I tried to knock him out in LFA because the day before he blew me a kiss and said he's gonna knock me out. I've never been dropped by a punch. I've still dared anybody. Go find 100 fucking fights I've been in, and I ain't never been bodied ever by a punch. And so I blew him a kiss. I was like, motherfucker, I stood in front of him, and my wife in the third round, she said, bro, are you gonna leave this up to the she looks at me and talks to me how it is real. She's in my corner. She's like, are you gonna let this motherfucker beat you? Are you gonna go out there and rip his goddamn leg off? And I had practiced to rip his leg off in the first round I have a really good Imanari roll and to a knee bar, man. My knee bars are nasty as fuck. I can do that anywhere, anytime, all day for anybody. And so I did, and I went out there and did it. But bare knuckle, man, I just like to fucking fight, dude. When you got two men out there, not hate each other, not violent. I mean, violent as fuck, but fun. Like me and my buddies would get drunk and bored in the country, and we just beat each other up and put on boxing gloves and see who was the toughest. And back in the country, you know, sometimes the neighbor's kids would box who had the toughest kid. And my wife, she supports it. She's like, hey, this is real man shit. This is the kind of sport where ain't no hugging. If a dude grab me by the coochie in the middle of the alley, what the fuck are you gonna do to him? And that's a squared circle, dude. We can clinch and we can grab each other by the back of the head, but bitch, you ain't got nowhere to run. And I'm coming with club knockers, and I ain't ever been dropped by a punch. I fight like a motherfucker. I bleed like a bitch, but blood ain't shit. That's why I eat it off my face. I'm like Nate Diaz. I've been taking collagen PS, so I should have some soft, beautiful fucking skin. My wife has been making. I've been doing vampire facials with my wife. Let her make sure I'm still not fucking pretty, but goddamn,
he's gonna make sure he's nice and
get some rubber
moisturized.
goddamn skin.
Get nice and moisturized.
Elasticity.
My
Hey.
old lady ain't the only one trying to get me on a face routine, huh?
Yeah, I gotta go to the fucking get pedicures and manicures. I know what omoplatas were, but I just recently learned what all that beauty shit's called. And I know now my wife will be proud. I know the difference between eyelashes and eyebrows. Okay. She doesn't do her eyebrows. Apparently, those are called lashes. Those are.
Look, bro, I grew up with two women in the house, and now my sister being in there, dude. Yeah, dude. I just try to just fucking steer my way out of those conversations, so I don't blame you.
Yes, dear.
Yeah, that's the right answer. What do you got, Corey?
Yeah. I was just gonna say, to steer back to what you were just saying, it does kind of feel like bare knuckle and BKFC as a whole, I guess. It does kind of seem like a professional ass kickers contest. Kind of to go back to what you were just saying, it does kind of have that energy about it. Like, who's the tough guy on the night? Who's going to show up and show out, essentially? And it kind of adds a different energy to what's sometimes missing in the sport aspect of just like UFC and MMA in general, where you see sometimes guys, like you said, kind of lay and pray their way to victory. You ain't seeing that in BKFC. That's for damn sure.
It's fucking gladiator shit. It's like we're in Rome, dude. It's just like Sean Strickland said, I don't really want to kill nobody, but if I fucking kill you in there without a sword and these guns right here, bitch, you weren't man enough to be there anyway. And it takes a different kind of person to really be like that. And I honestly don't. I love everybody. I'm a spiritual person. You know, I believe everybody is one. We're all just living separate individual realities, but we're all one big person. But man, it's fucking to show people the adversity, to be bleeding, to get hammered in my face. It's more than just the fight for me, man. It's like passion. People can feel emotions. They can get away from their bad marriages, their bad lot. And there's just so many fucking people in this arena cheering. They used to do it in Rome to distract people. And I mean, I guess I'm part of the distraction, but fuck, man, isn't it a happy distraction, dude? Like, if you can get away from politics and fuck Biden and Trump and all that shit for a minute and just watch me bleed to fucking death and smile, man, it's great, dude.
Well, you got quite
in the world if you think about it. Two men out
This
there
is true.
just scrapping it out, dude. That is what it is, man. Shit
And then
right
you get to
there.
be buddies and hang out. And my wife is all like, Oh yeah, baby, look at that guy out there.
Hey man, we get down with the bare knuckle stuff. Anybody that's been following us, shout out to past guests of the show, the Mohawk Esteban Rodriguez just fought a couple weeks ago for them. We got past guests of the show that's going to be fighting with you next weekend. Britton Hart's getting down. We've had Christine Faria has been on here as well. So we like man, we like the bare knuckle this type of way. But you know, you got quite the matchup in Dustin Pague, man. We were talking while I was out in Chicago doing some interviews with AEW and all that stuff. So tell me, how do you feel about fighting Dustin Pague? What are your thoughts on this matchup, and what do you think we're going to see from this fight?
Fucking awesome, man. He's talented as hell. It gives me I don't want to fight no bitch. I like I said on a bunch of interviews, man, I want to fight a man. I want to fight a tough dude. He's 2-1, but he's 2-1. He lost one because he was too fucking tough and accidentally hit dude on the ground because he wanted to get that finish and he let that energy go. Well, that's what I want. He's gonna engage. My last fight, Connor was good. He was a striker. He was a boxer. He was trying to outpoint me, and I should have just went out there and sunned him like his daddy and just beat him up. And Dustin's going to engage. He's got good striking. He's talented. He's in the top 5 in the world. I'm in a title contention chase. So it just excites me. It makes me train hard. It makes me focus. I'm ahead of my weight right now. I'm 181 pounds. I only got 15 pounds left to cut in 10 days. That's nothing for me. I'll be walking 8 pounds the day before cutting. And it's all because I was thinking about Dustin and his and what he's done while I've been out this year. Like I said, I consider him 3-0. He's number 5 in the world on BoxRec, and I want that position. I'm not looking past him. I'm seeing him as my proof of a good fight to get me to a title contention.
What do you think is going to be the difference for you against Dustin? We've already seen that Dustin loves to get in there and bang. We know with your MMA background, you're not afraid to fight, whether it's in the clinch or whatever it is. But I think you're giving us the answer. It's that bulging one. It's the knuckle
that's the difference. And like I said right here, he can fucking do whatever he wants. I'm gonna break his fucking hands with my face. He's a good striker, but I guarantee you can't go find him being a dog like me. I bet you can go find 10 fights he's touched the ground. And the difference is, and I tell everybody this, for 165 pounds, I'm one of the hardest hitting fucking human beings at 165 pounds on this planet. And when I hit that motherfucker, I excuse my language, grandma, I'm gonna put him to sleep. I'm gonna sleep him. I love Dustin. He's talented, but I'm a motherfucking dog.
I like it, dude. I'm ready to.
You can appreciate his skills all you want, but it's a competition, and hey, it's him or you, and he's going down in that one. That's what I'm.
Yeah, he's trying to take my dreams, and I'm a fucking dog. We did an interview face to face the other day, and I was telling somebody this, and I feel people's energy. I think that he is definitely still confident, but he can tell I don't give a fuck. Like I'm not putting on an act in the show. I love him. It's all respect. But you're trying to take my dreams. You're trying to take my rankings. You're making it harder for me to win a world title. And I turned 41 September 23rd. One beautiful. People say I'm old. People say I can't. People say I won't be a world champion. Bitch, I'm young and vicious as fuck, and I can't wait to show him. And I know he knows that too. I love it. I'll tag him in my interviews. I want him to see how fucking happy and healthy I am and ready to go.
Oh, trust me, he'll see plenty of this one come tomorrow too. But I got to tell you, happy early birthday, because you're turning 41. I'm turning 31 2 days later. So let's get with it, man. What are you doing?
Libra season, baby. Let's go.
Hell yeah. So after you get this dub against Dustin Pague, now that begs the question, man. What's on the agenda for the birthday, bro?
Man, I'm happy, sober, and just chilling, dog. I'm gonna go out for my birthday, hang out with my family, play some horseshoes with my dad. I'm down here with like I said, bare knuckle fighter, 8 samples, dude. I'll probably come up here with him and play some horseshoes and watch people enjoy themselves and have a great time. And man, I got a lot of support, and they're all getting ready for me to fight. So I'm gonna celebrate my birthday after the fight. Really, just enjoy life, and when the fight's over, man, I'll go out and hang out, enjoy myself, man. Take a vacation somewhere, go jump out of an airplane, get back to some normal shit that I've had to sacrifice and not do. You know, I like skydiving, riding jet skis, and might take a dip down to Florida, go out to the West Coast, go surfing. I'm gonna do something extreme, something really fucking fun. That way, as long as my face and my hands and my health is together, I'm going to do something to fuck that up.
Hey, I like it, dude. That sounds like a way to spend a birthday. I'm over here. I thought I was doing something. He's already got my birthday beat. But on the 23rd, you can catch all three of us live and in living color. We're headed down to I Prevail for Riff Fest. So shout out to JC from 101 The Riff that was on with us last week. It's going to be a hell of a good time down there at Pine Knob. I'll be glad once I get done slinging the mail if I don't go postal in this bitch first. But with that being said, you know, I got to know, how much MMA are you getting to watch these days? Because like I said, I got to see you fight in LFA and all that. We just had last weekend's LFA main event on the show with us Monday. Devin Smith coming back with a big spinning back kick knockout with Rashad in his corner. So you got to tell me, how much of the MMA scene do you get to keep up with these days?
Oh,
and,
man.
Is there anybody you're loving?
I still coach and hang out. You know, I train with Douglas and Diego Lima, the American Top Team. I mean, Ace here. We're in the wrestling room. We just did he did a kids wrestling class tonight. He's got some dogs down in here in Georgia. He's an official Georgia state certified trainer. Nice. I mean, I'm in the MMA scene everywhere, dude. I got guys. I train striking. I was a world-class grappler. I went to state all 4 years. I do submission grappling tournaments still. I just keep that shit in the background because I get paid a lot of money and I'm top ranking in the world. Been to win this bare knuckle world title, so I have to stay focused on that. But I still go to jiu-jitsu and train for 4 hours every Sunday with Fabio. I just got my brown belt after 20 years of jiu-jitsu. I mean, yeah, dude. Like I said, I take off from competing during a contracted 2 months. About 60 days, I sacrifice everything. No sugar, no alcohol, which I don't really drink anyway. But like, I just do everything perfect. I go to my doctors. I get my blood work every 7 days to make sure my organs and kidneys and levels. I have a sponsorship from John Barber Orthopedic, and they give me MRIs every, like, if I have I've got a spinning head and I'm afraid that I got a blood vein swell, I'll go get it done. Make sure my health is. Man, it's like being a professional race car and having Roush, dude. You know, I take myself as a drag strip car, and I'm taking off all the shit I don't need, all the little fat. And goddamn, ain't nothing but a seat and a gear shift, and I'm ready to fucking rock and roll, boy.
I like it, dude. So you gotta tell me, man. Did you watch Noche UFC last weekend? Did you see what happened with Valentina?
Oh yeah, I bet on all. I don't have a VPN, and I don't bet on the fights. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. I watch all that shit, bro. I fell asleep, woke up $500 richer because I bet against Schevchenko. I'm glad the refs robbed them and gave me my money because they screwed me over on the fight before that. But hey, you know, yeah. I'm
not gonna lie, that one fucked up my parlay.
Matter of fact, Chris Barnett, Black Beast, he's gonna come in and help me get ready. Yeah. He's coming in to spar with me tomorrow night down here with Ace, man. You know, down here in Athens where Roy Singer and all those guys are from. There's a lot of guys in South Carolina and the central part of Georgia. They'll come in, and I got a big old Shark Tank. A bunch of people coming in and help me get ready for this shit. I've been bodying everybody too. God damn, boy. Thank you, my training partners. I love y'all for putting up with these hands, boy.
I like it. See, it's good to hear somebody else say that. We were talking a little bit about what we thought with that fight, but I mean, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I watched it back twice now. That was a great fight, first of all. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it wasn't razor close, but I've watched it twice, and I come to the same conclusion twice. Valentina won 1, 3, and 4, in my opinion. I feel like Grasso obviously won round 2 because she knocked her down. And if you're going to give her round 5 because she was on her back and had the
worst case scenario, what I saw was a draw. Maybe if you 10-8, it should have been a majority or a draw. But, you know, I always know that there's a judge that doesn't know grappling whatsoever. He counts takedowns that were not finished. Or he counts the guy that's backing up. There's a judge that doesn't know that's a counter position. You can back up and be drawing guys into counters depending on your style of fighting. They just need better fucking judges and open scoring, because if I go into a fight and I think I'm winning, like I did against Connor, I thought I won the first 2 rounds easily. I thought he won the 3rd, and I thought I would come back and won the 5th. Apparently, one of them gave him a goddamn 10-8 round on a round I thought I won. I'm like, okay, what the fuck was I watching? But if they had an open scoring, I'd have got to that 5th round, and you'd have had to sew my fucking arms off to get me to quit trying to kill that son of a bitch. I'd have either died or went on. And they just need better rules, and they need open scoring, and I think that'll fix all that shit.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
I love hearing the athletes themselves say it, because that's, you know, from somebody like us who does media, it's like, it's one thing, right? But when somebody who's in there and who's dealt with kind of the consequences of thinking they're ahead and then having that not be the situation, man, that's a lot to deal with in there. You know, you see it all the time, basically every single weekend with these fight events. You'll see somebody's facial expression go from sweet, I just walked away with my win bonus, to all of a sudden, oh shit, I got to figure out how I'm gonna pay for my bills for the next couple months. You know, and it's like,
yeah, well, in MMA, you lose half that money too. So that's really, I mean, that the judges are in the UFC $100,000 decision on the judges, and it makes you wonder, like, come on, who did they bet with? What the fuck? Come on, man, like.
Yeah.
You ain't
questionable.
blind in one eye and you were cross-eyed in the other, talking to the guy over here trying to judge my fight, or like.
with this fight in question, it's a little weird though because of the circumstance. I feel like really the whole fight boils down to that 4th round. How do you score that 4th round? The 5th round, like you say, was kind of went the way it did with Grasso taking the top position, dominating. I feel like the first 4 rounds, same thing. Like you said, Grasso for sure got the 2nd with the knockdown. That 4th one was the one in question, because that was the one where she was landing the knees, was able to kind of land that real nice combo and maybe steal the momentum of that round. So I could see how her the
Corey's
4th
out.
round in that one. Oh, in my back. But I could see how a judge would have gave her the 4th round in that one. But that being said, it was still just like, I feel like the pride rules, like, you know, the old pride
here's the thing. Now, here's where that makes sense, because in a close round, a judge is told, if you feel that it's close, the champion gets the round. You got to take the belt from the champion. So if it's close,
I agree with that.
And if it's close, and you're like, God dang, do I let her steal the round? And if it's a decision where you're feeling that way as a judge, I'm giving that round to the champion, because if you want to take the belt, you have to take it. You can't like almost get it and me justify taking it from you on the next round. Yeah. Now, if it's another close round, I'm going to give the other person a close round because it's 2 close rounds. And then you better just hope you turn it up and the champ does what it's supposed to.
So do you think there's any validity to what Valentina said after that? She thinks that the judge realized he fucked up on the scorecard and then scored it at 10-8 so that it'd be a draw.
I mean, that's a possibility. They're not supposed to. They're not supposed to do that.
But that's the only way that makes sense.
Well, I mean, or they gave them 10-8 they gave her the 10-8 in the round she dropped her. Because
no, but they showed the 10-8 from that guy. They showed after the fight what round he scored. I
didn't know that they had that was the official showing. I just thought.
Yeah. No, that was the guy. The guy that had that 10-8. Mike. What's his? I forgot his. Bell. Mike Bell. There you go. Yeah. They showed all 3 of the scorecards, and the round that he scored 10-8 was round 5.
Well,
so I don't.
You see how all the fighters feel about it. They're like, Mike Bell got it.
See.
Fuck him. Sorry, Mydell.
But
I'm the hitman, but I don't have the hit out on you. It wasn't me. You don't judge my shit. So,
and that's the thing, is you see a lot of people in the media end of it breaking down kind of his decision, I guess you can say, and they're pointing back to the fact that he's kind of been one of the good guys in the MMA judging sphere.
Here's the thing. Honestly, sometimes people are emotional, and he probably made an emotional decision to give that to her to make it a draw because he made a bad decision previously and overcompensated for the bad decision. I mean, you gotta, you just never know. You never know. I mean, God, it's hard to judge fights because there's been some where I've looked at 3 rounds of a really good fight and I got so caught up in the art, enjoying it, even though I'm going to tell myself I'm judging this fight. I got money on this fight. I get done and I'm like, you both won. I love you. Fuck, 10-8, 9-7. Fuck, what am I doing here? And you just get caught up in the moment. And I imagine there's those moments for the judges too, like in a really beautiful fight. And I try to keep it no favorites, but damn, man, my grandma used to say that she loved us all equally, but we all know I was the favorite. So
see, it's always good to be the favorite. I can't argue with that, dude. I've been getting to shout out to Lights Out Championship. I'm getting to do the commentary for them come again September 30th, man. It's like you said, sitting outside cage side, and you see that action just kind of get going. It's easy to get caught up in it, dude, and you just gone, dude. So
yeah.
I definitely agree with that 100%. But since you already brought it up, I got to know, what do you think about Sean Strickland taking that belt off of Izzy? Because now that's really just opened the whole 185-pound division. And do you think Izzy should get another rematch based off of his prior resume?
Not at all. He got his ass whooped, and he could not. Izzy needs to be sidelined so he can quit being arrogant and painting his fingernails. And I don't care what he does and what he dresses like, but he's got the Conor McGregor syndrome. He's successful. And even in his interview, he said the next day, oh, I'm still looking good. I look like success. I'm like, rub your nipples against some glass, little bitch boy. And I like, go earn some shit, right? Like, Izzy, don't act like a fucking champion. Be sad that you just lost it. We don't give a fuck if you're rich and you got all the money. That ain't you might have everything, but be a fucking champion. Show us that you want it. Entertain us. Don't be arrogant little fucking prick. And I mean, Sean Strickland walked you down. Trailer park trash ass Sean Strickland stood in front of you and beat you up, almost dropped you, bodied you, trained with the guy that you knocked out just to piss you off, and you let him do it. And now you're out here talking about, oh, I'm still happy because I've got money and my life is blessed. Well, that's cool. Be happy. My life is blessed. I love life. But bitch, you just lost. You need to be in there going, I'm going to come back and I'm going to train and I'm going to do this and I'm going to make adjustments. And I'm sorry I stood flat-footed and I was a fucking bitch tonight, but be man up. And he didn't do that. So I don't want him to get shit. I want Sean to fight like Vittori or like, I mean, there's a lot of guys that deserve a shot that have been waiting on Izzy for 15 fights.
Well, and the guy they had is the backup. You know, Cannonier's already beat Strickland too. So now you've got that in there. You know, Izzy like you said, Izzy didn't look good. Izzy looked flat, in my opinion. To me, it looked like someone who is used to fighting 5 rounds. And I feel like there was kind of like you could almost see the wheels turning in his head. All right, I'm going to turn it up next round. All right, I'm going to turn it up next round. All right, I'm going to turn it up next round. And next round never came. And I think with the way that Strickland fights, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I think. I think he got put on his back foot, and Sean stayed so tight with his feet together. And what Izzy gets off is when he can kick a guy in a guy. But because his feet were together so tight, if you saw Sean Strickland's feet was like this. And he was standing in that little Philly shell with his body almost twisted up.
He took almost no damage.
Izzy couldn't get around him. Izzy couldn't set up leg kicks and calf kicks because Izzy stands so karate style like a ninja with that bounce. And when he couldn't get his bounce, he never got on his toes. Sean Strickland walked that angle down, never chased the smoke, never leaned his head in for uppercuts, and baited him with that left hook. And Izzy's bread and butter is that big wide left hook he catches everybody with and throws down the middle. But Sean Strickland was setting him up with that shit the whole time. And that's how he bopped him down the middle with that 1-2 lean outside. And he was making Izzy miss that counter hook, almost fishing for it, pulling his chin right out the way. And right when he missed, throw that 1-2, bop. And then it scared Izzy. Izzy never recovered from it after he got rocked. He just was scared. He was
another thing that really stuck out with Strickland to me is like the difference between Strickland and a lot of guys you'll see, like, you know, most traditional boxers, you know, you're seeing people bring their hands back to their face. If you watch Strickland punch, he don't really ever bring his hands back. He does when he's done throwing his combo, but his punch,
he brings the elbows like bang, to the hips. It's the Philly shell. I fight with that style too.
Yeah.
I launch when I'm here, because if I do this, I have to dip to throw my elbow to get my body. But if I come here, and I hold it here, I still can lean back and do this if he comes in, or I can pull my head and penetrate that hip. Yep. Right off that hip. And that's a lot of guys come to almost that half shell with the hands out in the, not quite the fist to cuff, but yeah, keep them in that fucking pocket. You can't, it's in bare knuckle especially, because you ain't got gloves to cover up. I'll just punch you in the fucking arm.
Punch right
I mean,
through it.
That's
punch the arm. It's like a leg kick. You wind up can't even close your hands. I hit you near that elbow a couple times.
Hell yeah, man. I that's the thing. That's what's so cool with bare knuckle, and I agree with you 100%. I feel like what this does is this completely opens up 185 really for the first time in years. And I feel like Dana's going to want to wait a minute before Izzy goes right back to that title, because let's face it, before Izzy lost that fight to Strickland, I mean, he's beaten most everybody in the top 10, sometimes, twice already. So, I mean, if he would have won that fight, he'd have pretty much ended out the 85 division, at least for now. So, for me, I think it's a good thing.
And now Dana White can get his dream. Kobe Covington's coming off of his court cases. He can make 185 great again and get it.
You think he'll go to 85 though? I don't know if Kobe could do it at 85, man.
He already fought Izzy. What do you mean?
I know, I'm saying for him to go, they're talking about him fighting at 70 for the belt again. That's what he's supposed to have next.
Hey, but he could do any of it, man. Yeah, I think he can. Look at, if Izzy can, he can.
I think he's got a much better chance at doing it than Izzy did going to 205, because when Izzy fought Jan, you could see the strength difference, you could see the size difference. He just couldn't do anything.
22 big. He won't be able to do that at all. That'd be, you got some
That's
big
what I'm
old.
saying. Colby's got a lot less of a
205. 205 is a true 245. I mean,
you ain't wrong, dude. I'm excited to see what happens with it.
I was 212. Come on.
I feel it. I feel it.
I thought I was a big boy, and then I got to meet our own Michigan champ in person, Jamal Hill, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm definitely not."
Oh yeah, Jamal is a rock. Yeah,
I'm like, my boy is fucking 3 inches taller than me. I'm fucking 6'3". He's like fucking hovering over me. I'm like, and he's thick. He's just thick. Everywhere's just thick. And I'm like,
that's how I felt. That's how I felt the first time meeting Shaq walking out the bathroom at BKFC. He shook my. He didn't shake. I told people Shaq don't shake your hand. He shakes your arm, because he like his fingertip was like at my elbow. Like he was. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, you ain't kidding. I felt like that with Ngannou.
Just hug it. You go to give him a hug, and you're like face high with his dick. You're like, Jesus Christ,
dude. Ngannou's fist. So I took a picture with him here in Detroit. The guy's fucking fist. I got a big fat ass head, dude, and that guy's fist was bigger than my dome.
You know who had one of the biggest fists in MMA history? You should know this. Yeah, there you go.
I was there when he beat Randy for the title, so I know.
Gloves for that motherfucker. They
had like 5XL gloves.
Together gloves.
Yeah, 5XL gloves.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I know you got to get out of here and get out of time. So before we let you get out of here, man, you got to tell me, how are you feeling with, like we said, we got Britt and Hart fighting on there. Is there any other fights on this card that you tell anybody to check out this weekend or next weekend?
All of them, man. You never know, because there's a lot of hungry fighters coming in. Virginia's got some really great fighters, and some of my favorite fights are the people I don't know, because it's the biggest surprises. So tune in, because bare knuckle is just fucking amazing. We're all going to be there to fight, and it's a great card. Great card.
Hell yeah, man. Well, the last one I'm going to ask you before you get out of here, like I said, we've been chatting since we was in Chicago. I know you've been doing a little bit of boxing out here in Detroit, man. You got some ties out here with us, man. Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, Coach Crazy Chris, actually, he's flying. I'm flying him in tomorrow, the Dog Pound. I know the guys up at Mac Gym. My coach used to be at Kronk, so I come up there and cross-train with a lot of guys. I'll either fly my coach in to live with me, or I go up there, or back and forth. Matter of fact, I'll send you a video, dude. I was up there fighting my last MMA fight that I fought on UFC Fight Pass for a promotion up there.
WXC, right?
Yep. Yes, sir. We were boxing in the backyard, and a dude got fired from the post office, and he went postal and like got assault rifles and guns, and the SWAT team had to come. And I've got videos of us training in the backyard, and it was all over us doing hand pads. Welcome to Detroit, baby.
And the sad part of it is, in the most every other city, bro, people are like, "Oh shit!" There's
And that was
SWAT
actually
all this-
Dearborn. We were actually like,
dude, we
like,
live in
damn.
Taylor, so it's not that far from Dearborn. And I remember we had the SWAT was all right around the corner, and there were people driving from across the city that come stand there by the fence. I was like, "You motherfuckers, he's shooting. Why would you go up to the damn fence?"
oh yeah,
Like,
everybody was outside with the phone. Dude had his rifle
Right.
just hanging it out, and they're like, "Look at him." I'm like, "Well,
you might fuck around and find out. Well, dude, you know who's gonna fuck around and find out? We're gonna fuck around and find out come BKFC 51. You got Joe the Hitman Elmore and Dustin Pague getting ready to throw down past guests of the show, Britton Hart. Man, if you got any last words before we let you get out of here, this can't be the last time we bring you on, my man.
shout out to all my sponsors. Man, thanks everybody just for everything you've done. All the fans tune in. I'll see y'all later. Appreciate it."
Wait, before you go, can we get one more Ric Flair woo for the road? Now hit that high note. There it is.
Hey, man, we just got to get him to go get one of Uncle Jerry's crowns and wear that to the ring on BKFC.
Hey, I
and we'll be
actually
sitting
have
fine.
a crown put up in my closet.
Ah, damn it! If you don't keep that, I'm disappointed in you. You can see behind me. I've got all kinds
it
of
ain't come
shit.
out of the plastic in like 15 years.
Good. At least it's being preserved. Well, we'll have to see if Dustin Page's jaw is reserved come BKFC 51. So until next time and in the in-between time, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, the comment button, the share button, the like buttons, and all the buttons. Make sure you check us out this Thursday as we got Candace Cordelia from PWI 500 coming down this Thursday. Hit that subscribe button. Peace.
Peace.